that's why it's bitch ass niggas. Like I feel like nobody wants to be a bitch ass nigga. Like, but I feel like anybody could turn into a bitch ass nigga. Like, especially depending on where you live, you could. It's like it make. I feel like because I feel like the thing that makes you who you are, I feel like you're the last person that has an influence on you. I feel like it's a lot of like who you grew up around, who your family was, and then like environments, people you go to school. I feel like there's a lot of different things that affect how you. I could be a totally different person if I grew up somewhere else. My dad was different. Like I feel like that's crazy. I feel like yeah, you put people in a box and shit. That's why it's bitch ass niggas and shit. Cause like nigga, me like niggas like me and shit. I grew up fighting, but not because I wanted to, because I had to, and I had to fight because people would just pick on me and shit, put me in a box and shit, and I feel like it's fucked up. That's why you shouldn't if you feel like if you put people in the box, they shy away. Because naturally you want people to like you. You want people to like you. Like even when you're a kid, like that's how you learn. You do stuff, and it's like, oh, they laughed, it was funny. I'll do that again. If I do something and you don't like it, you don't do it again. Like that depends, and I feel like that shit is a lot. I feel like because I grew up in Leisure Park in D.C. I am not a thug type nigga. I'm not not a street nigga, but I'm not a bitch either. Like I feel like there's a nigga down the block from me. He probably grow up. He probably a certified street nigga type shit. I was never friends with him, like because I didn't fit in, and like in this weird in a way, like cause it's like that's why life is. You can't judge people. I feel like you can't because just because I reacted a certain way that you weren't reacting in that situation, or you feel that you weren't reacting in that situation, doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It doesn't. Like I feel like you cheat on a bitch. Like there's people who cheat and they'll want to get back together with the person. They want to forgive the person, and I feel like a lot of people don't do it because they care about what other people think or how it makes them look. Like, and I feel like I feel them on that because I feel you. Because me personally, I wouldn't. I feel like if someone cheats on you, you shouldn't take them back because I feel like you teach people how to treat you. Basically, that's just how. But that's only I only have that way because I grew up. Some people live by that's my golden rule. My golden rule is like I think that's how the world works. I think if you like if you walking outside and you like a bitch or something, you just let some people take some shit from you. Like I feel like, I feel like that's bad that they did that, but it's not all their fault. Like, cause that's like human nature. I feel like you can't fight human nature, but I feel like being honest will open a lot of shit up. It will, like, cause you don't have to. Sometimes you don't like something because you don't understand it, so you don't fuck with it. And I've done that many times in my life. I've done that. And the only reason I stopped doing that because, well, one, because not even because I'm a good person. Like, it's just because I've been through it. Like, that's another thing, too. Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like crimes are like passion. Like, even, I feel like if you just be honest for everything, you're open, like, just to have a conversation with somebody, you could, like, learn something, even if it's bad. Even if, like, racism, like, people can't say, white people can't say nigga and shit. And it kind of annoys me. It annoys me because I want to be able to say what I want to. I want to be able to say faggot if I want to, and like you may feel me, or like maybe even if I used it wrong or I said it the wrong way, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I didn't mean like you faggots like that, but like like I'm just saying like that's how I feel about like because I'm using faggot and nigger because like nigga that's a good one. It's like you don't want people saying it, but the reason you don't want people saying it is because you don't know if with their how they feel in their heart. Cause like the word is an iffy word. Cause like words are iffy. Words are only bad because how you feel about it, like how you feel. Like you say fuck. Like why you don't let kids cuss really? Like I don't. I wouldn't let them cuss only because it sound weird when you hear a kid cuss. It's just like naturally like whoa what the fuck. It's like whoa, but technically is that you could let your kid cuss in your house and it's because they gonna cuss anyway. So it's like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't really judge somebody because like depends on like how they grew up. Like anything, like racism though. Like if a person is racist, I want to be able to talk to a nigga who's really racist so I can figure out why he's racist, even if it's because I don't understand. Like I don't understand why people don't like niggas. Like back in the day, I don't understand it, and back in the day, I don't understand it now. I feel like I don't know why. It had to be a reason. Like they didn't like us, if they was jealous or anything. I mean, yeah, but it's like I feel like even if he say the racist shit, like all niggas, like he say classic stereotypes type shit. Like he talking like he's just saying all the fucked up shit about niggas. Like that shit is like I feel like that's important to talk to him because you can learn a lot. Like you can learn sometimes like you don't fuck with people. Like I've definitely not fucked with somebody just because I didn't understand them. And as soon as I like actually like got out of myself, stopped thinking that I was so right and special, what I believe is the right way, just because I thought it was going up, and I just like actually like talk to other people and like really understand shit. I understand why people do shit. So I feel like in a way you put people in a box. That's how you create bitch ass niggas. That's how you create killers. Cause some killers, some people just kill because like that's one thing about like serial killers and shit. I feel like you shouldn't kill anybody really. Like, but there's people who like who there's people who say that he did a good thing. There's serial killers who get bitches. Like there's some people who kill people to get famous. I've thought of that. Like I'm not gonna lie, and that's like the reason I'm fucked up too because I understand why people do shit. Like I relate to people. Cause a lot of things in life, I feel like I could have been like, me personally, I could have been a school shooter. Only reason I wasn't, is cause I didn't have guns in the house. But like, yeah, and because it was that I didn't have guns in the house, and then it was something else, but it was something else that I found. So it's like, does that make me a good person, or does that make me a bad person? Because I didn't kill people only because I didn't have the gun, and because me personally, I think it's fucked up. Me personally, I don't think it's cool. I feel like if somebody like, I feel like if somebody's fucking with you, you get the person that's fucking with you. Like you don't just shoot everybody. Like that's the thing. Like that's the only thing I don't like. Like that's why I wouldn't do it. But it wouldn't be because of the reason. You naturally would want me to say some shit like if I was being like if I wasn't being honest with you, if I was keeping it, if I wasn't being blood raw with you, I was lying with you. I was just trying to like appease you like people do because I care about what you think, or put me in a box type shit. So now I gotta fit in because I'm worried about what other people may think of me. Which like I say some shit like, oh no, I would never. Like I hear a school shooter shit, and I won't think. And like it's just hard for me because like some shit you gotta go through to experience. I think that's fucked up too. That like I can only like care, I only empathize with shit if I've been through it or if it's just like universally sad. Like if it's like a baby, like a homeless, if a homeless man is on the street, I probably won't care that much. But if I see a homeless woman on the street, I probably still won't care that much. But if I see a homeless woman with kids on the street, I'd care more. That's like, but I only care because it's like universally, like, but really, see, that's not a good example because I care about that because, now that is a good example because I care about it only because I've been homeless. I've been homeless like on the streets, like literally sleeping outside, like in the streets, but not thugging. Like I can say I'm in the streets and like and niggas are thinking like, oh, he talking about he out there in the streets. Really, like no nigga, I'm like sleeping outside. Like there's niggas who think I like camping. I don't like camping at all. I just told you they're just people who saw me outside and shit. They called me outside and I was like, why are you out here sleeping in the forest or some shit? I said I'm camping. I like camping and shit. Like I just had to say anything like. And I want to say like I'm broke as shit. And sometimes you want to be honest, like when, and it's weird in life, cause like if somebody, I just think that if I feel like honestly, we'll get down to the bottom of a lot of shit, like racism. Maybe you never stop. You can't fight. That's human nature. So human nature, you can't fight. There's always gonna be, you're always gonna want to kill something. Like that's just natural. I feel like everybody has. I feel like every human is like a mixing board. Like as far as music, a mixing board type shit. Like everybody has good. It's not just good and evil too. It's like different. I think everybody has some shit turned up. And I think depending on where you live and like who your family is, and it depends on you because it's just you because it's like that's the reason like you still have it's still you. Like when you grow up, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I think you shouldn't judge people because of that fact that everybody knows naturally there's some things that you just don't do. But you don't know what you would do until you do it. There's so many things that I never thought I would ever do. And I end up doing this shit because but I know why. And I feel like that's what makes you a good person. I feel like Because I feel like you can't use an excuse like, you can't use an excuse like, oh, I grew up in the hood, I'm fucked up, because there's niggas who made it out of that shit, which is why, you know, it's annoying to like be around successful, like, it's good to be around successful people, but I feel why people don't, like, I've not hung out with people, like, because they're too positive and shit. I'm like, damn, this nigga's too positive, I feel fucked up, like, I feel like something's wrong with me for being negative, because he's always super positive, like, this one nigga named Clinton or some shit, he could make a positive out of anything, like, no matter what the fuck happened and shit, he'll make it positive and shit, like, I swear, like, this nigga, like, he'll take slavery, make that shit good. You be like, damn, what the fuck is good about slavery? They took us and treated us like animals, less than humans, less than animals, really. Treat us like property, whipped us, you know, all that shit. You know, mass incarceration, all that shit, whatever the theories, or you believe it or not, he'll say some shit like, yeah, but, like, without slavery, nigga, we wouldn't have fucking, you know, we wouldn't have grouped together. Like, that shit, like, he would say shit like slavery. His argument would be like slavery fucking helped black people, like, it helped, like, us get together. And I stopped hanging out with him because I was like, it was annoying. I don't like that. But in a way, like, I wish I admired that about him. But it just made me feel bad because I can't, like, I don't get it. Like, this nigga would be like, slavery. He really said that shit. Like, he said cotton shirts. He said cotton. He made me think about that shit. I was like, damn, bro. Like, cotton shirts. I mean, I'm mad that niggas had picked cotton. Like, that's some shit that I'm glad I wasn't here to do. I wasn't there at the time, which is another thing. I can't judge nobody. Like, saying you say anything about anybody who does anything, I feel like you don't know until you've been there. I feel like that's what life is all about. I feel like some stuff you should try. Some stuff you shouldn't, depending on you. That's your life, you take a chance. Like drugs, I feel like you shouldn't do drugs. I'm high on drugs now. Like, and I feel like you shouldn't do drugs. But not because of the reason they tell you. Not because, like the stereotypical shit, like, people don't tell you what shit really is or what it's really like in life. So you grow up thinking shit a certain way, and shit's not a certain way, and you be mad as shit. Like, how the fuck, like, if you have a son and you're a mom, how the fuck can you look at this nigga and tell him to, like, treat bitches nice and give them flowers and shit, when you know that like, you know that you don't like this, you won't fuck with a nigga who's nice, who, like, treats you like how you say you want to be treated. And that's not, and I feel like that's fucked up that you would tell him that you would not, like, I would tell my son all about bitches. Like, I tell him the shit that bitches do, I'll tell him the shit that niggas do, I'll tell him the shit, like, you know, shit that you shouldn't do because, like, you know, whatever the fuck. But it's like, I feel like, in a way, I get it. Because it's like, you don't want to, it sucks that the world, that's why people lie, that's why the government lies to us. Like, they lie to us, I'm pretty sure they don't lie, they lie to us because, you know, I'm pretty sure some of the shit is like they don't want to tell it just because it's like a money-making thing, like some money, like, scam. You know, if you believe in conspiracy theories, like, some shit like that, like, they holding back cures for cancer and shit, or whatever, just money shit, or whatever the fuck. But I feel like that's why they lie. Because, like, they can't handle it. Like, we wouldn't be able to handle it. Like, I feel like you don't want to tell people that doing drugs, I mean, you don't want to tell people, yeah, you like, we're doing drugs, perfect. You don't want to tell people that doing drugs is maybe fun. It may be fun. They may say drugs is bad. Don't do it because it's bad. They always say bad. So when you take drugs and it's not like it is, you smoke weed or some shit for the first time, and you don't fucking lunch out or some shit, and you'll be like, oh shit. But then niggas will look at you like, oh, you smoke weed. Versus just like crack or some shit. A nigga can smoke crack, and he could be a functioning crack addict. Like, you'd be like, damn, this nigga fucking, he go to work, he got a better job than me, take his family, and he smoking, he fucking just 8 balls to the face, shooting that shit. 8 balls to the face like pool. Like, this nigga is like, but then another nigga can't even be around, he can't even be around sugar, or he can't even be around, if he sees something that look like coke or crack, he's done. He's sucking dick in the alley. And it's like, that's why you shouldn't do drugs, because it's about you. It's about you as a person. But they don't tell you that. It's about you. Sometimes it might be too bad or it might be too good. Like me, I can't do drugs. I can't do Molly. The reason I can't for two reasons. One reason is just because, when I get on drugs, I feel like everything I say is important. So I'll be talking about shit just to get it out, really, and I think everything is like genius or so, look back to it when I'm not high anymore and I'll be like, oh, that shit was stupid. Like, that's one reason why. It just make you feel like, it give you a sense of confidence. Like it make you feel like drugs. That's why some people do drugs. Like some people do drugs just because it makes them feel good. It makes it too good. I can't do Molly because of that. And because I fuck this shit. Sometimes in life, there'll be times in life where you gotta play stupid. I do that a lot. Here's the reason why. Because if you do too good a job of shit, people expect that of you all the time. It's like you set the bar. It's like if you come out with a like that ass song or some shit, or you say some funny shit, everybody knows you for that. Then you gotta top that shit, or you're not as good. Even if the shit is better, like structurally, but it don't hit the same. Like you'll be like, you'll get fucked up. You'll be confused and shit. You won't know what to do. Like that's how. So you gotta like play like at work. Like when I go to work and shit, I don't work my super hard. I don't break my back for these niggas. Mostly because like I will never break. Like I'm not gonna break my back for minimum wage, helping another nigga's dreams come true, helping him build his business. He had his dream come true. Same way about his family, and I'm broke as shit. Like I'm not gonna break my back for you. But another reason is because it's like you gotta be smart, man. Like if you work too good I work too good at work, bro. I'm gonna be doing like that. I'm gonna be doing amazing. People gonna expect that to me all the time. So that's why I can't do drugs, can't do Molly, because when I do it, I fuck the shit out of a bitch. Like I fuck them. Like I don't. My dick. It's like damn. It's like when I do this shit, I no homo, but like I it's not like I can't come, but I don't. It's like a cheat code. It's like basically like if a nigga took steroids, or if you fought a nigga in the street and he beat your ass, and then you find out the nigga was high on PCP or some shit. It's kind of like, damn, nigga, like, yeah, that's kind of cool that you did that, whatever, but that's kind of fucked up at the same time. It's kind of not fair, but it's like, hey, what you gonna do? Like, because that's what life is. Like, life, I feel like, part of me feel like, I heard a thing one time, it's like ethics class, went to ethics class or some shit. I really tried to like be a better person. And it said, what's good is good if it's good for me. And basically, what that means is basically, I feel like that's the real human nature, people. What's good is good what's good is good if it's good for me. Basically, I feel like most people are naturally selfish, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I feel like it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be, sometimes, like, cause I feel like it's balanced. I feel like there's more than two sides to a story. I feel like truth is even kind of blurry too. Like somebody could, like God. I don't believe in God. I don't. I just think that some things are too weird for God. Like, it was because I was forced most. Like, see, like some people go to church all day I went to church every day when I was a kid. Like, grew up going to church. So that's how my dad made money, made money and shit. Like, he did that shit. So basically, I was going to church all the time. So me personally, I grew into the person and kind of how he raised me, just how I naturally am. I was like kind of my own person, so I started thinking about shit that just didn't make sense to me. Like when I was a kid, I say shit like how I like offering. I'll be like, why do we have to give money to God? This nigga, why is we like, what the fuck? I don't get that shit. How the money, like, I know he's not taking it because he don't need money. Like, God, why do you, so I gotta pay for your church and shit? Like, shit like that. Like, but that's not even why I don't believe in church, because God, it's not even about church like that. Church is like you be in the presence of God if you just around two niggas and y'all all believe and y'all feel that shit. Like, so, but like I don't believe in religion because I think shit like that is weird. Now I think like God, he's like, I feel like if I was God, he's a jealous God. I already think it's weird that a God would have like any qualities of a human. I know he said we're like in his image, but I don't feel like we should be anything close to God, because if I'm anything close to God, if God is like jealous, some shit, that's gonna make me feel like I can be jealous. And now I won't work on my jealousy. Now I'll just be like, damn, bitches, that bitch, she can't talk to her own like fucking brother and shit. I'm like, damn, nah, fuck that shit. Like, that's the type of jealous shit. That's like, I could have been that nigga. Like that's what I'm saying. Like everything is like choices, but in a way it's like, yeah, because you have to make decision makings, but you have to learn how to make good decisions. Like that's a skill. Like just like handling your emotions is a skill. That's why you can like somebody like if your bitch cheat on you, you took care of her, you saved her from the streets, you saved her, did everything for her, you like really changed life around, or vice versa. There's bitches who do shit for niggas. I'm staying at my baby's other house right now. So like, and then like you cheat on them or like or have a baby, like niggas raise a baby that's not theirs for like 18 years or some shit like that. Like and somebody to kill like they kill their wife or some shit. That is like I feel like that is more about like you gotta dig deeper on why he did that. Like he should get some time because you can't, you know, that's why the government lies to us. You lie to kids. You tell them, you know, you don't tell them how the world really is. Mostly because you want to protect their innocence, and mostly because you know it'll be too much to understand. Like it'll be too hard to explain. Like, um, like the government trying to explain to me why they give minimum wage to niggas, like minimum wage, and then expect niggas just to be alright with that, and just like not want to sell drugs or do other shit that's fucked up, or like scam or do whatever the fuck you want. Like I think it's fucked up that I gotta do that. So like the government trying to explain that to me, making that shit make sense to me is like me trying to explain to like kids why you shouldn't, like why you should share. It's like how do you teach people? It's like how do you teach people to be a good person? Like I feel like your environment and shit plays a part in how you were raised. Like you have to make your own decisions, but you have to learn how to make your decisions. Like decision making skills. How do you learn shit? How do you learn shit just naturally? Even as an adult, like you never really change how you learn shit. You never really change as kids. Like we get older, but sometimes we don't grow up. Like, you know, like me personally, I always been irritable. I'm always irritated, always thinking about shit. That's why I do this shit like here. But I always like talk about shit to get out of my head or whatever. But like, I don't know.